Alright guys, I am 11 weeks into my bulk. I have 7 more weeks left, and then I'm going to give myself an 8-week cutting period. That's my goal as of right now, but it's subject to change, so we'll see what happens. But I wanted to start getting into bikini posing. It's not the most uplifting thing to do when you're in the middle of your bulk, because you're a little bit more fluffy and not as defined. But I want to change my front pose from my last show because it wasn't flattering and it made my waist look really wide, and that was part of the judges' feedback, was to bring in my waist. So one way to do that is to give the illusion that it's smaller with the posing. So that pose is my front pose that I've decided to do. And what you'll see is I'll be working on my transitions. So the first thing that I think of when I do bikini posing, when I'm deciding on a new routine, is what's my front pose, what's my back pose, and then I do kind of like a side half pose, I guess, in transition. But I kind of hold it there for a minute before I turn all the way to the back. So once I have those 3 poses, then I start working on transitions and weight, bearing like where I'm shifting my weight to, and make sure that it looks really nice and fluid. Here you'll see I definitely don't have my routine down, and I'm really working on those transitions. And so when I'm looking and checking myself out in the mirror, this isn't like a conceited thing. You're not like looking and thinking you look so wonderful. You're actually looking for all the faults. You're looking for changes, for improvement, and it becomes more of a technical thing than a fun thing. It's actually not fun. It's I started to sweat, and then if you're not in heels all the time, then this definitely takes its toll on your feet and your lower back. So anyways, I do have my front pose. My back pose is just the traditional back pose, slightly wider than hips width apart, and I just feel like that looks best for my hips. I can't have my legs too close together or in the T shape, when you put your feet in the T. I forget what it's called. I don't know. But basically your legs are a little bit crossed. I just feel like I need to be a little bit wider so that my hips and my glutes look bigger and my waist looks smaller as I lean forward. Again, trying to give that illusion. And you'll see I kind of get off balance here and there, and that's something to work on. That I need to work on. What you'll see me do at the beginning before I start walking is basically what my pose will be when I'm on the side of the stage, even though I'm in the back of my kitchen or whatever. And I think I have a handle on things here, a good idea of what I want to do. But there's so much to polish up, for one, my body, but for 2, I look at what I'm doing with my hands, my wrists. Sometimes I'll, tighten up my fists, which I don't want to do. You want to look nice and relaxed and natural, and I really try and focus on having as natural poses as I possibly can, but it's hard to do that since we don't stand like this every day. And I'm finding it difficult to give the illusion of a smaller waist and still try and find a pose that's flattering for my legs and my hips as well, especially in the front pose. And I guess that's all I really have to say for now. I'll probably go into more detail as we get closer to the show, once I've decided on my routine and what I want to do. But yeah, I'll definitely be polishing this up a lot. So one thing I like to do is, really suck in the stomach, and I end up breathing with my rib cage, not stomach breathing, so that the bigger your rib cage and your shoulders look, the smaller the waist is going to look. Same thing with the hips. I've been working on my abductor muscles and my hips and thighs and glutes. I have 3 leg days, my quads, my hammies, really trying to get that lower half of my body to be bigger since I'm so straight up and down. This is just a little bit different of a view, gives you the back view, maybe helps you figure out exactly what I'm doing. I have some of this some of the same poses from my last show that I'm just comfortable doing and I like, and I feel like the transitions will be nice and smooth. You'll see I do like this ballet type of thing with my hands, and I'm really going to try and knock that off. I feel like a little bit is okay, but just like that, I just did it 3 times. But I'm really just trying to readjust and feel what works best. If you feel awkward, then you look awkward. If you're looking awkward, then you should probably change it. I see a lot of girls out there that they do well, they place well, but to me they still look awkward, and there's always room for improvement, and I just want to make sure that I'm aware of those things. So if I do look awkward in my poses, you can tell me now, or you can tell me later as it gets closer, but I'm really trying just to look natural, like I know what I'm doing, like I've been practicing. So I think I'm pretty happy with this. We'll see how it goes as it gets closer, but posing is definitely all about the illusion, and trying to display your body on stage as best as you can. Sorry about the lighting, I feel like the lighting changes every time I move my camera. Oh yeah, so another tip is I just try and keep my shoulders nice and up. I still try and externally rotate my shoulders so that my shoulder pops a little bit more. Flex my back here. And I do flex my quads a little bit in the front pose. Oh, so here is a time where I'm trying to try out different back poses, but I just don't like those back poses. I feel like I need to spread my legs a little bit just so my hips and my quads look bigger, so then my waist can look smaller, which I think that's what it is. And I'm trying to also figure out how far I want to lean forward. I don't want that to look awkward. I don't want, but I also don't want to break my lower back, so. This is so weird. It's the strangest part about competing, this whole thing. But you just kind of have to own the stage as best you can, even if you feel awkward trying to do it. And then the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you'll feel. And I definitely recommend practicing. I'll probably not practice for another, I don't know, let's see, what did I say? I have 7 more weeks, so I'll probably practice 2 more times before I start to cut, and then as I start to cut and my body looks different, then I may want to adjust some things here and there, who knows, so we'll see. Anyways, for all you bikini girls, good luck. Keep on practicing, wear those heels because you do not want foot, toe cramps, calf cramps when it comes down to the show date. That is not fun. And I'll see you next video.